saying I am the chairman of the PACE group, and what the PACE group is it's a multi-departmental City of Austin, state and local government agencies that enforce all the city regulations as far as permitting, regulations and things of that nature that affect small businesses, large businesses, residential homes, you name it. What it does is it walks you through if you need these type of permits or you need information on the events and things of that nature, that you can come to this website and you can get that information. And I'm going to say right now, it doesn't have all the information, but it will also lead you to a place where you can get additional information. So with that said, what we found out was when we did that with the West Campus area, it was so successful, it was like, well, why not take this citywide? Because then we started branching out to places that were having things like First Thursday or East Austin Art Tour, things of that nature where people were trying to run some type of business, and was trying to have some type of event to either promote their business or promote something, and to be able to educate them on how to do that properly. PACE itself is made up from Code Compliance, Fire Department, Police Department, TABC, State Comptroller's Office, DPS, you name it, a health department. So all the agencies that you would typically deal with on an individual basis, they're all together and basically in one area when it comes down to the enforcement mechanism of it. So with that being said, when we go out, we're able to, if we go out to a site and the event's already occurring, you already have all your people there that you need to talk to with you whenever the PACE team goes out to do enforcement on a particular site. But what we're actually doing is going out there ahead of time and doing more of an educational type of role. If your event is only going to be within inside the building, then that's all you're going to need is that temporary use permit. But they're also going to look at your occupancy load. If I'm an office and I only have 12 parking spaces, and all of a sudden I'm going to have 100 people at my office, where is everybody going to park? Well, if you're not going to have, now you're talking about going outside the building. So what you then start talking about is where are they going to park? Are they going to park on the street, or are they going to park somewhere else? Where am I going to put all these people? That's going to trigger another review, because now I'm pushing people out into the street and I'm affecting the general area around me, whether that's the busing system, whether that's EMS getting through the streets, whether that's fire department or anything of that nature. That permit then goes through a department called what is called special events. And you would then actually, now as you start to think of this party that you're going to have, you're going to start to have to think of, well, how much am I really going to affect my building and the place around it? Because all these things have limitations and they have deadlines and they have fees and things of that related to that issue. So now if I don't have enough parking, if I'm going to have 100 people there and I'm not going to have enough parking, and I'm going to have to push people in the street, now I have to go to special events. That's a 180-day turnaround process. Now what we're doing is we're changing the use of that area around me now. I'm no longer just a parking lot. Now I'm a display area where I'm putting booths, I'm putting other structures and things in that nature, displacing everything else that's supposed to originally be on that site. So there's a permit for that. It's called a temporary use permit. The temporary use permit, basically what that does is it then looks at all the areas that you are going to take up, what all is going to be there, how are you going to get the people in, what's going to happen if there's going to be a fire, things of that nature. And now you're looking at me going, man, all I wanted to do was have a Christmas party. This all sounds pretty tedious, but it's all about safety in the end. What we find out, if these things aren't put in place, safety can, dramatically drops. It might not be the things that you're aware of because you might not be trained in that nature, but someone trained in that area of safety or whatever it might be can really see where you're putting yourself at a very high risk if you don't have these things in place of really something majorly wrong happening. And then, of course, none of us want that. And that's a lot of what we're all about. A lot of people don't realize a lot of this stuff is more about prevention. And I talk to people and they're like, well, nothing's happened here in 15 years. That's right, because there's a lot of really good prevention that goes on prior to that a lot of us never even see or think about every day, but it's there and there's people who are working on it. And if it wasn't there, things can drastically go wrong. That's why we come and speak at these, because our last thing that we want to do is close down somebody's event. And we'll try, even when we get out to the site, to do everything that we possibly can to salvage it, if we can. But in the end, we're serviced with public safety, and in the end, we have to do our job. And if that means all the way going down to saying this events have to stop because we believe it is unsafe and we cannot continue to go on, or it's having some type of effect on all the people around it where we cannot tolerate it, then we're going to have to shut it down. The permitting process is not always just quick and easy. It depends on what you're doing, and it depends on how prepared that you come to the table. If you are an individual that doesn't know anything about all this stuff, and all of a sudden you walk up and you just say, I need a permit for this, you're going to take a little longer. It's going to take a little longer to get you through the process, and it may be a little harder for you too, because you might not be talking the lingo and know what to say or how to say it or what exactly you're doing, and it's going to take staff a lot longer to really sift through that and make sure that we're doing the right thing. And that's what the city's trying to work on right now, is a special events team that would handle all the permits all in one place with all the individuals right there that you can talk to, and that's what we're working on now.